Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, affectionately known as Mocha from Made by Mocha Crafts. Today I'm starting a series of instructional videos for my patterns to go along with my patterns on Ribbler, but also for anyone who finds them helpful. Today I'm going to start with a magic circle and increasing a couple of rounds in the round. This is a basic amigurumi technique and will be helpful for all sorts of projects. All right, let's get started. Today, I am going to show you how I do a magic circle. And then I will continue to show how to increase working in the round. This is how I start almost every single one of my projects. So all you need to start is a yarn and a hook. I work in medium worsted size 4 yarn with a 4mm or a size G hook. That is smaller than the recommended hook size for a medium yarn. That is because I make plushies and I don't want the stuffing to come out. I'm very concerned about the natural holes that happen with crochet being too large. So often if people are making amigurumi or working to make stuffed animals, they will use a smaller than recommended hook size. So to start your magic circle, you take your yarn, you wrap it around the pointer finger of your hand that does not hold your hook, and you hold it in place with your middle finger and your thumb. So once again, take a good couple of inches of yarn, wrap it around, and hold it. And then take your hook and go between your finger and the yarn, go under the yarn, pull up a loop. Now you have this. And then yarn over and pull through. And now you have a chain in your magic circle. Yarn over. You have your first 2 loops of your first single crochet, yarn over, and pull through. Now you have your first single crochet. Working in the round, to get a perfect circle, because of math and pi and how it works out, if you put 6 as the base unit of your pattern, or so you start your round with 6 stitches and increase in multiples of 6, you will get perfect circles. So I'm going to do 5 more. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. There's our second single crochet. Third, fourth, 5th, 6th. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All built under this ring with this little tail. So then you find your first stitch right there. Pull through. And then you grab this tail and you pull it. And now the whole thing is nice and tight. And you can close it there, or you can keep going. I am going to continue working in the round and do an increase round. So I do not join my rounds. I work in continuous rounds. So I pulled through that first one. I'm now working in the first stitch of the first round. And now I'm going to increase 6 times. So I'm going to do 2 stitches in each of the original stitches in the magic circle. I'm going to put a stitch marker. Some of us are very brave and never get interrupted and never lose their stitch count, and so they don't use stitch markers. I am a mom who works from home, so I am constantly interrupted and losing my count. Also, for the sake of the video, this is very helpful. So this was 2 stitches in the first stitch of our magic circle. Here's our second increase. That's what increase means. It just means do more than 1 stitch into a single crochet. Typically it means 2 and 1. Sometimes you say increase 3 or increase 4 or increase however many, and it's doing that many stitches into a single stitch. So we are going to end up with, we have 8 now. We're going to end up with 12 stitches in our second round. Okay, second round is complete. So you can see a little bit where that tail is. It's coming out the end, and the mouth is opening just a little bit. You can pull it tight again. This is an advantage over the chain twice and work in the first chain technique, is that hole really closes. And then at this point, what I do is I flip it over, I pick a stitch, and I tie a knot by doing a couple of slip knots. And now that will stay closed and won't loosen up. And so we have this nice, tight, closed start. I'm going to do 1 more round of increases. Now we are doing 6 times 3. So the first round was 6 times 1. There were 6 stitches. It was all single stitches. The second round was 6 times 2. So we had 2 stitches in each stitch in the increase. Now we have an increase in the first stitch. Move our marker. And then single crochet. And that is your first group of 3. And now an increase. So that's 2 in that same stitch. And then a single crochet. And we keep going. There will be 6 times 3 stitches in this round, so there will be 18. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And then the third is a single crochet all on its own. 1, whoop, 2, 3. So in my patterns, I would write this. Anything that is repeated goes in parentheses. So I would say increase, or INC, which is increase, comma, single crochet, 1, and that would be in the parenthesis, and then times 6, meaning you do an increase in one stitch and then a single crochet in the next stitch, and you repeat that pattern 6 times. On the next one, you would do an increase, single crochet 1, single crochet 2, right? So it will be 6 times 4. So increase, single, single, increase, single, single, increase, single, single. And that is a basic increase pattern. You can keep your increases always at the first stitch of each group if that's what you need to do to remember the pattern. What I do, because I've been doing this for 3 years, I have learned how to hide my increases and my decreases. If you keep them all in the same location, you get this really lovely pattern where you can see the growth, and you get these stripes in this beautiful twisting pattern. People don't always want to see that. It can be beautiful and it can be done very intentional, but people don't always want their finished work to have obvious patterns of stitch design. So what I do on my increases is I am now working into a pattern of odd stitches, right? I'm working 4 stitches into 3 stitches, and 3 has an exact middle. So what I do when I am doing an even increase, or an even multiple of 6 increase into an odd multiple of 6, is I will go 1, and then my increase is in the middle, and there's my 4 stitches. And then I go 1, 2, 3 in the middle, 4. So it'll be single crochet 1, increase, single crochet 2, and my yarn is clustered. Single crochet 1, increase, single crochet 2, and then I will alternate back and forth between where I put my increases in my multiple of 6 pattern. So if it is an odd multiple of 6, then I will put the increase at the start of the repeated pattern. If it is an even multiple of 6 increase, I will put it in the exact middle. So now we have 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4.